Welcome to Tuesday Mysteries. Today we're going to be playing a game called Night Call. This is a game I got a while ago, one of the bundle. No, I think I got it with Humble Choice. And it's been in my downloaded list for a while, I just haven't played it. It looks like it's going to be very interesting of a game. Let's get started. Free roaming. I know it's sort of like, I think it's a taxi type game, so hopefully maybe you can actually drive around. Like, personally. I thought it was all going to be just inside the car from when I first got it. Choose the investigation. The judge. Victims have all something in common, and the motives seem clear. But which suspect could have done it? Balanced case, perfect for a first run. Random victims, unknown motive. Weird case, slightly more difficult than the others. The Sandman. The victims may feel random at first, but there's a connection. Yet the motives might be hard to find. Dark and twisted case. The surprise investigation. The game will randomly pick an unsolved investigation. Ooh. The game will randomly pick an investigation no matter if solved or unsolved. Ooh. Maybe I should just stick with the judge. Start out with a... Yeah. So the judge... Money will be easy to get. The investigation will be easier. Every action will take less time for a chiller experience. The way Nightcall was designed, or money will be tighter. Okay, let's just go with balance for now. No more settings? Okay. Ugh. See, with the algorithm for Twitch, I'm gonna get less viewers at a time because not many people are looking up random games like I'm playing. It has not been 15-20 minutes yet. That link should not have popped up. Whatever. A game by... Okay. The art style does look really good, though. The question is, though, is it just going to be inside the taxi, or do I actually get to drive? Do I actually get to do things? Or is it just going to be the game? Yeah. If any of my widgets are too distracting, like because they're yellow compared to a black and white game, let me know and I'll hide them for this stream specifically. But I can see them getting very distracting. And why did the other one go? Both the Nightbot is really just saying, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna just go on any time, even though they're 20-minute markers, timers. Night call. Doctor. Here. Sir, can you hear me? Or do I need to speak up? Yes, speak up. Is this okay with you? Is my voice loud enough? Louder! And now, is that okay? Yes, thank you. She takes a deep breath. Sir, you just spent 2 weeks in a coma. The world bounces around your head. You need a moment to understand its meaning. Coma? The word scratches along your throat. Yes, you were a victim of an assault. The word resonates in your head. Victim. You are aware a serial killer is currently on the loose in Paris? You feel the contents of your stomach crawling up your throat. The judge, as the police call the killer, assaulted you. The bullet touched your liver, and in most circumstances it would have been fatal. We chose to put you in an induced... Her voice becomes more distant, fades. You taste bile in the back of your mouth. Your head is burning. You hear a whistle in one ear. Your fingers move to your wound underneath the bandages. You can feel hard skin. It is incredibly painful. Did they... I'm sorry? Did they catch the judge? No. What about my passenger? What about the cops? What does this symbol mean? What about my passenger? He was dead before you even got out of your cab. The doctor is silent for a second, a very awkward second. She hesitates. The police would like to see you as soon as possible to ask you some questions. After all, you're the only one who survived the judge. Noise in the hallway attracts your attention. You try to turn your head, to no avail. You need to rest. She leaves the room. Her voice resonates in the hallway. I don't care. He's the only witness. He's... Another female voice joins in, a strong, authoritarian voice. You can't clearly make what she's saying. A strange feeling washes over you. It's not pain, not fatigue, some odd combination of the two. Before being in this hospital room, you'd never realized that anger was made up of a combination of pain and exhaustion. Anger. A feeling you know all too well. Days go by, and a month later... Oop, I was like, oh, no month later what? I just clicked it. Ooh, maybe I do actually get to drive. I got $327. Well, look like I've got a bit of a problem. A real problem, that is. You have a pounding headache. It's your first night behind the wheel since the attack. Boss, are you listening to me? You catch your boss's eye in the rearview mirror. Why did I read that as part of it, boss? Wow. Sorry. I just want things to get back to normal, to clear my head, to stop thinking about it all. He's watching you closely, trying to make out what's going on in your head. You know I'm worried about you, don't you? I know. You're like a son to me, you know? I know. And you know he's about to tell you the story of his taxi fleet again. When my father died and left me the store, I could have sold it. I could have retired, gone back to the old country. I'll let him go on. That's rude to cut off your boss. But I decided to start a cab fleet with the money he left me to hire the guys from the neighborhood. And that's why I've got 45 guys like you working for me. His hands flutter in the air. Though none of them are any match for you. He smiles. His voice suddenly takes on a serious note. Do you want me to go over everything again? He points to the equipment on the dashboard, the meter, the GPS. You haven't been in a taxi for weeks. Maybe you do need a little refresher. Now, should I do this in a style of going in this completely blind and not take any tutorial? Or should I take the tutorial? I'm assuming you click around the map and let it drive, but I'm not fully sure. It might not be the case. I don't want to hover over here because I feel like I'm going to just click it all of a sudden. Take tutorial, okay. Right then. Well, first the map. You spot potential customers and try to guess where they'll be going. Then you decide. When a customer orders a taxi, if there's no one else around, you have to go pick them up. He shrugs. That's the way it goes. It's business. No problem. The other fares. You look at the map and decide whether or not you want to take them. And then you drive. He flashes a quick mechanical smile. You know it well when he talks about work. He talks about work. That's all. When your shift is over, we do the numbers and... His voice trails off as if searching for the right words. And that's all. It's pretty simple. There's no reason why you can't do it. Alright, no overtime. We're in France here, and there are rules, regulations. You might not see it that way, but no one likes having a driver who hasn't slept for 24 hours. He looks away. Something's been bothering him since he's gotten into the cab. Anyhow, you know the ropes. You get it. I know you're going to do a good job. What's the matter? Your boss keeps quiet for a while as if he's had anything to speak, and then, I don't think it's a good idea. You shouldn't be driving. The murderer is still out there, and we think he's going to come back for you. We? Your colleagues. I do too. Anyway, I'll let you get back to work. Every minute spent in your taxi is a minute lost. He gives you a smile, half ironic, half serious. Have a good evening. The sarcasm in his voice is palpable. Right, you have a good evening too. You spend the rest of the night dealing with problems and drivers. You wonder how and when the guy ever gets any sleep. Your boss opens the door and exits the cab. You watch him across the street and enter the fleet garage. A couple of colleagues are milling about. Taxis are coming and going. They all ignore you, consciously or unconsciously. You are branded. You sit there a moment and turn the key in the ignition. The hum of the engine sends a tingle down your spine. It's impossible to describe how you miss that feeling. It's back to the night shift, back to life. Despite the attack, despite it all. Oh. Okay, I'd want to go to the one closest, probably. If I click on it, what happens? Oh, it just brings me straight there. Yeah, they're both equal distance. I'll just go here. I'm assuming that's a story-based one. I guess accept. The two women get into the cab, give you their address. They say nothing as you start the car. A faint scent of alcohol hangs in the air. They've been drinking. After a moment's silence, the younger of the two breaks the silence. So, what do you think? About him? Who else, of course. Him, not the bar. Well, I'm not sure. A strange sound escapes her. She sighs. He seems pretty dumb. Dumb? How so? You know, dumb as a doornail. All but staring at himself in the mirror over the bar when he went to get drinks. But does that matter? No, not really. He's got a good body, good looking, lots of energy. He's got a sort of animal vibe, a little like a panther. I really like that style. You really like that style? The passengers exchange a look. The older of the two gives her friend a smile. You know exactly what I mean. They reach for each other's hand in the back seat of the car. The gesture is full of tenderness. A moment's silence. The older woman clears her throat. What about you? What did you think of him? The young woman gives herself a minute to think. I don't know. He was heavy, too sure of himself, and he spends too much time at the gym. Did you get that bit? About? Yeah. Please. That innuendo about sexual performance. A short mocking laugh escapes her. He was pretty heavy-handed with all his expertise on yoga and orgasms. True, though, strong pelvic floor muscles can't hurt. Well, anyhow, he was all preachy. You should write a book, the perfect gift for your ex-husband. They burst out laughing. When the laughter dies down, the younger of the two resumes talking in a more serious tone. Anyhow, like I was saying, she looks at her friend intently. Is it really that important? I mean, you're looking for a donor. Not a father, but not a lover. Not a guardian or godfather. Nothing but a donor. Yeah, just a donor. She casts a glance in your direction, conscious all of a sudden that you aren't alone in the cab. She goes on, lowering her voice. Yes, but still. If he had been on a date, I think I would have been out of there in 5 minutes flat. I do yoga, I meditate 6 hours a day, I went to Tibet to learn the ancient art of, and serfdom did exist in Tibet before 1950s. I checked on Wikipedia. I thought Buddhists were supposed to be curious and open-minded. He was like some old conservative dude in the body of a young Brad Pitt. Pause again. But like you were saying, does that all really matter? Her friend nods. The two young women are lost in their respective thoughts. You know, I'm not against that kind of stuff or anything. It's up to him. If he wants to be a drag with all that yoga and meditation bullshit, I don't have a problem with that. She gives her girlfriend a reassuring look. Anyhow, there's no way any of that is going to be passed on to our daughter. Or our son. Her friend flashes her a big smile. But it's going to be a girl. I can feel it. In yoga, it's not genetic. So one of them's having a child. I don't know which one is which. We'll have to ask Dr. Vidal. Yes, I bet he'd really love that. He'll think you're messing with him. He said we could ask him anything. He's going to take us for a couple of idiots. Besides, it's impossible. Papaness cannot be passed on to children. Papoosness. I wonder who his other passenger was. Because if he survived, I'm assuming the passenger was the target. The younger woman doesn't seem convinced and makes an exaggerated pout. So you're saying an ear for music, yes, that's passed on, but potentially isn't? Exactly. Okay, so if you don't want to believe me... She leans towards you all of a sudden. Sorry to bother you, but did you hear what we were just talking about? Some of it. I want to be honest. No need to feel embarrassed or anything. We were just talking out loud after all. Her friend lets out a sigh. Come on, leave him alone. I was just asking. Right, so my wife and I are meeting potential donors in order to conceive a baby. Her partner rolls her eyes. And we were wondering if you thought potential... Notice I can't pronounce that word. Could be passed on to children. So musical ability to listen. Right, it continues to drive even if I don't continue. You give her a look in the rearview mirror and take a moment to answer. The question is so utterly absurd. Leave him alone, Emily. He's a taxi driver, not a geneticist. Don't get all worked up about it. I'm just asking him his opinion. Yes, I'd say it's possible. Aha! The taxi driver thinks there's a gene for pretentiousness, and that it can be passed on from parent to child. She burst out laughing. The younger passenger leans forward towards you. Sorry. My partner doesn't mean anything by all that. We've had a bit to drink and it's first time for us tonight. We're meeting donors. You pull up to the client's address and cut the engine. Why is she meeting donors at her address? And she was just at a bar. She's not going to a donor bank, I don't think. No problem. The passenger seemed relieved. I'm a cab driver. I'm used to all kinds of funny stuff. I can imagine. Have you been driving a cab for long? You avoid her eye. Yeah, you could say that. The passenger pays for the ride. She lets out a sudden guffaw and can't help adding. Anyhow, thanks for answering. Come on, Emily. That's enough. As her friend tugs on her arm, Emily starts to mumble to herself. I definitely think we should ask the doctor, just in case. We need a second opinion. You wait until the two women have entered the building, then start the car. Ooh, I got $10 tip. Woohoo. Well, it's not dollar, it's euro or whatever that is. Take it, haha. So that guy's still there. Does that person have no picture? I'm intrigued. This person is intriguing too. Let's go to the blinking person. Oh, I can move around. Okay. That took an hour. Fair. He's blinking. I feel like he's going to be important. You immediately recognize the patron who just climbed into the back of your cab. Ooh. His face has been plastered all over the news for the last few weeks. He's a lawyer. A lawyer who is representing a terrorist. Ooh, he gives you an address and you start driving. He holds your gaze in the rearview mirror like he's trying to read your mind. You drive across a virtually empty Paris. Behind you, the lawyer nervously consults his notes. Everything alright? I'm trying to get him to talk. I want answers. He answers without looking up. Yes. You get the message and leave him alone. You continue driving without saying a word. Your passenger mutters, ugh, why did he say that to the cops? He's not taking this seriously. Doesn't get it. Idiot. There again. He says it again. Ugh. Is he contradicting himself with just... You glance in your mirror. The lawyer looks like a smaller version of himself. He closes his eyes and remains silent for a while. You see him start to break. I can't take it anymore. He takes a deep breath. He loses control of his voice. This guy is a real asshole. He's not just a monster. He's a total idiot. Tears from at the corners of his eyes. I've never seen such a moronic defendant. You know what it's like to defend a moron? You know what it's like to get only 3 hours of sleep a night so you can defend a fucking moron? Do you have any idea? He yells so loudly the windows shake. What is this? I don't like this face. Yes, of course I'm talking about him. Who else? Who else could I be possibly talking about? You've seen my face in all the magazines, all the papers, right? His voice teeters, blind with rage. That's me, the terrorist's best friend. A traitor to his country. He pauses barely, just in time to take a deep breath. Jesus effing Christ already. He kicks the seat in front of him. Jesus! He calms himself down. He steadies his breath. I'm the one who agreed to it. I actually fought to represent him. It's my own damn fault. I'm being dragged through the mud. He raises his hand, snickers. Yeah, I admit it. At first I thought it was pretty great. Being on TV, all the interviews, journalists asking me about my opinion about everything. I shook so many hands, said so many words, sentences, yet I actually said nothing. When I worked in the hood, not a single person cared about my work. And now, in 5 hours, I have to be on the radio. In 7, on TV. He pauses, breathes. His voice sounds further and further away. He chuckles. Rest? No way. Actually, it's simple. I almost never sleep. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. Oh, I wonder if that person that didn't have an icon was the killer. When I lie in bed, I stare at the ceiling and go over the evidence in my head. And the reason why you don't see the face, you probably won't be able to see the face in the car either. Just get information from him. He sits up. It's barbaric, disgusting, so horrific, it's almost unreal. He lets out a sigh from somewhere deep in his body. And then I discovered my client brought nails. The nails that were in the bombs at the corner market. And he kept the receipt. He kept the fucking receipt. Folded it in half and slipped it into his wallet. That's what I see when I close my eyes. Disemboweled bodies and a receipt for €2 worth of nails. Why? He raises his voice quite high. Why, for God's sake? He thought he could expense it when he got to heaven. He pauses. So stupid and so dangerous. He disgusts me. Possible the passenger could have been the target, but it's also possible that you were the target, but the killer could have messed up. I think it was the passenger. Because the first bit of information that we got was of a pregnant girl. Or a girl that wants to be pregnant. And they said the motive was going to be pretty easy to figure out. And I have a feeling like maybe the husband is not able to conceive a child. And so maybe it's a form of jealousy or repressed sexual energy, something like that. I don't know. He revolts me. Someone has to defend him. That's exactly what I told myself when I agreed to represent him. That's exactly why my firm is losing clients every day. That's exactly why people insult me and spit in my face in the street. His fit of rage subsides. His fingers are shaking. When I signed on, I thought I'd be representing someone crazy, and I find out he's just a moron who played too many video games. The guy has never even read the holy book they use to justify their so-called acts of martyrdom. He read a few passages online. I gotta read the dialogue. That's how we're gonna get the information. And that's how the people watching is gonna get the information. AKA just you right now. Passages online. Do you have any idea what a complete moron he is? He chuckles. I am sorry. I am truly sorry. I shouldn't have said all that. He takes a deep breath. I don't have anyone else to talk with about it. Why is the car stopped? The car stopped in here too. All the other lawyers avoid me like the plague. My mother can't understand why I'm doing this. She's so ashamed. She went back to Algeria. He is shaking. I get the shame. What I don't get is when people just lump things together. I am not a terrorist. I am not a murderer. Maybe it was a light. That makes sense. Yeah, so what? Do I get a prize? No, I get spit on every day. Why? For a moron. We could hang him right there, right now, and no one I'm telling you, would shed a tear. I'm trying to see, though, if it's like a 3D model in the background, and I'll see when he's like turning weirdly and stuff like that. He stays quiet for a moment, catches your gaze. That's why I keep doing this. He slows his breathing. For equality! Our country was founded on it. Oh, it does make the weird turns. And it is fully 3D like model. That's cool. These rights have been abused far too often for me to look the other way. His anger seems to be lifted. The taxi has almost reached its destination. In the backseat, the lawyer is much calmer. His voice is soft. I need to be reminded of this. This will serve as a lesson. He looked at you in the mirror and bores into you with his gaze. It's odd, isn't it? That I ran into you tonight. I mean, as if. As if. No, forget it. You pull over. He pays his fare. Wait, don't take this the wrong way, but... He hands you another bill. Here, this is for you, for listening, for hearing what I had to say. Ooh. Refuse or take it. Refuse or take it. Refuse, I think, would be like the more noble thing to do, because it's like, I'm a taxi driver. I listen to you say it. I don't need to take it, but at the same time, taking it for that sweet cash. I don't know how much a necessity this cash is. And I think the stream is about 10 seconds behind. So I'll wait a second for this to happen. Do I take it? I need help. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Come on. I'm thinking take it because the money might be scarce in this game, but at the same time, refusing might help the story. I don't know. Yeah, but if I refuse... He flinches and nods. You're right, perhaps it's better this way. It's my job, yeah. He laughs. Keep doing your job, and I'll keep doing mine then. As he's getting out of the cab, you realize he left an envelope behind. For a second, one tiny second, you hesitate. It could be something important. Ooh. 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 You forgot something. He freezes, notices the envelope and grabs it hastily. You can tell he was uncomfortable. He doesn't say another word. I could have used that to figure out the evidence. He gets out of the taxi, walks a few steps away, and turns around and waves you by before entering a bistro. You drive off. He didn't give me a tip. The door suddenly opens and a woman gets into the back seat. Ooh, having a good night? For a second, you freeze. It's one of the cops working on the judge's case. Ooh. She grins at you. Her voice creaks. You remember seeing her at the hospital. Something already bothered you about her there. Why is she at the lawyer's house? The judge hasn't been caught yet, technically. Maybe she's working on the inside. Maybe. Because the killer's still out there, they said. And if the killer's still working out there, it would make sense if she was a police officer. Because if she was she or he was a police officer, for the idea that they have the ins and out. You know, it's actually pretty crazy. For weeks, I've been saying to myself there's something off about you, something not so nice. I leg around, molded over, bugged at my fellow cops about it because I was sure you lied to us. Lied about what? I'll let her keep going. She had a cold sneer on her face. I'm going to be frank with you. She leans over to you. I don't think you're the judge. Nah, I just can't picture it. She squints like she's trying to make you out from far away. Like you've gone to the extent of hurting yourself. Yeah, between us, it's a bit of a stretch. Maybe she's not. She stares at you. but not enough of a stretch for my chief to stop going on and on about you. Seriously, he talks about you all the time. If I didn't know better, I think he had a crush on you. She smirks. No, I think he's more interested in your profile in prison at 17. Ooh. An icy chill fills your gut. Maybe he was the target. Maybe he was someone from jail. And for murder, too. Ooh. Juicy. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. 1 second. Since you got out, you've been kept a low profile, but you're lying about your name and your dress. I checked. It's normal, you'd say, if they get word of your time served. No loan for your permit, no lease for your car. Meaning no second chance at life. Her voice becomes softer, almost warm. I personally like guys who want a second chance. Is she flirting with us? I'm scared. I'm in danger. No, I like guys who fight for a second chance. Oh no, yep, I'm definitely in danger right now. Not of being arrested, but of other... Basically, I like guys who are willing to work for me. Ooh, wait, maybe Oh. She leans forward, her shining cat-like eyes narrowing. Oh, they compared her to her cat. Mischievous. Oh. My chief wants to go to the prosecutor with a first and last name, with evidence. Actually, knowing him, he's not so hot on evidence. So I'll give you info. Victims, suspects, medical reports. Some photos that are a bit... She makes a gagging noise. You have to be discreet. Keep it between you and me. Interrogate, ask questions, dig around. I'm not a cop. She shrugs. Don't worry, you're already keener than half the squad. And don't forget, I'm not asking you to make an arrest and deliver the killer wrapped up with a bow in front of the station, okay? You're no Batman, you're just here to get me more information. She rummages around in her pockets for what seems like forever. Here, take my card. I'll call you in 3-4 days just to check in. We'll chat. And I'll let you know if I have any new info. She takes a didactic, paternalistic tone. Like she was giving you a list of recommendations for the 100th time. Don't get caught. Don't get arrested. Also, I wouldn't recommend trying to leave Paris. I know what you look like, and I know who your friends are. You can either be the solution or the problem, my friend. She takes a minute to scan your face, your emotions. If I have to, I go check in on you. Know who? You know who? Her smile is biting. That reminds me, she knows you've done time. It just feels like she's flirting with me at the same time not. It's weird. You shake your head. She snickers. Oh, my little dirtbag. You cover your tracks well. Yeah, if you say so. She sighs in a tired, exaggerated way. Don't try to mess with me, man. If things don't go well, I'll turn you in. I'll send your picture to all my friends in the media and every asshole in Paris. Your picture with your name on it. Your real name. Anyone close to you will have their places searched. They'll be put under house arrest. Spend nights in jail. You have any idea how tense things are with the fucker's trial underway? You sigh. You know what she's trying to get at. Come to think of it, your last names are almost the same. You could be brothers, actually. Woo! She smiles. Let me tell you, with that face of yours and your handle, they'll welcome you with open arms. She takes on a serious tone, businesslike. I want to catch this killer personally. I want to drag him to court. Ruin his fucking life. With a bang. I can't botch this case. You got me? And neither can you, right? Obviously. Well, great then. We see eye to eye. So you can just say you're my informant. My CI. I'm assuming that's CI or CL, whatever. He ripped open your gut. You saw your own insides. You were in a coma. Yeah, you have plenty of reasons to want to get back at him. She furrows her brow. Yeah, I think you're actually going to do what I tell you to do. You investigate, ask questions, listen to all the rumors, and you come up with a list of suspects. She lays her hand on the door handle and freezes. Oh, right, and don't get fired. Without this cab, you're worth nothing to me. You glare at her. Fucking bitch. No. She puts her hand up, and you can hear the words behind it. This conversation never happened. I'll make sure you get more until tomorrow. I'll find a way. Until then, not a word to anyone. Obviously, not a word. The door opens, squeaks, and slams shut. Fucking bitch. You sit alone for a while, teeth clenched, dry-eyed, ears buzzing. Shit. On the back seat, the cop left a pile of papers. Shit. Key in the ignition, motor running. Radio on cackles, you turn it off and start driving. Shit. Aw, man. Talking to the passenger might unlock new documents and clues for your investigation. You will find them back at your studio after your shift. Okay. 6 clues to discover a variable in your room. Do I continue my day? Yeah, I'm not done yet. Am I? I had 21 hours left. My time. No. Yeah, I'm rephrasing from saying that type of conversation in this chat. Now it's my job. You take a second to enjoy the silence of your studio apartment. Outside, the city is slowly waking up. You can still hear the hum of a taxi buzz in your ears. You throw the files Bassett gave you on the table. On the wall, you hung up a big cork board where you used to pin up photos of your nephews. They've been gone since you got out of. Your plan is simple. Jot down all the pieces of evidence and connect them to the suspect. The guilty party won't necessarily be the one with the most evidence against them, but the one with the most compelling evidence against them. It's like you're building a story about each suspect, trying to understand their motives, understand how he or she got into the situation. Your neighbor flushes the toilet. Out of the corner of your eye, you can see the pipe shake. How does he have evidence? Whatever. You glance at your bed and get to work. Do I click this? Alright, I don't want to click a button. Alright. Alright, let's look at the board. Officers report victim 3, no sign of violence. Source, cop. I don't think it would be the lawyer. Oh, that's the autopsy. Let's just stick this here. I don't want to click the button by accident. It's starting to like freak me out. Okay, let's see what's next. Hold to investigate. Oh wow. Killer's height is... that's everybody. But we already ruled out it's this guy. Because he was killed, I think. Retired cop joined the... oh no, wait, no, he's not dead. Okay. Homeless man with an unknown background briefly worked for Charles Bargrain, victim 2, in the 90s. Got health issues after Rickerton health scandal. A couple of arrests for breaking and entering. I wonder if they would actually reference, like... what's that movie called? The movie that has, like, Dr. Manhattan and, like, those type of people in it. Because the one guy was a homeless man who put on a mask. And he was, like, yeah. Well-known lawyer from Saints Q. Defender under... okay. What a promising football player when he was 10. Medical examiner in Paris. Escaped from Argentina when she was young. Lost her parents in the Argentina throughout the process. So she would... I don't think she would have a vendetta against Paris. He seems too anonymous, but I think that's like the red herring. Dad was a cop, financial affairs, died 2 years ago. Mom was health issues after Rickerton health scandal. Gay in a relationship, never disclosed this information at work. Then how do they know it? Alright, what's next? Oh no. On the first 3 crime scenes, he left chalk. Killer killed with 1 bullet to the neck, which corresponds with this per se. We know the height. We're just gonna move this up here. Killer knew the victims and researched them. So this one would know technically. This one would know technically. And this one would know technically. No, this one wouldn't know. I meant this one. Because a medical examiner and then the 2 cops, they would have the information to get that. Okay, no sign of violence. Alright, let's see this. Picture of crime scene 1. Do I not get the picture? Death equals execution. Message on crime.